Hey everyone, I am joined today by Hareth Snoussi, a full stack developer. Hareth, tell me a little about the volunteer experience that you mentioned.
Okay, the volunteer experience has a very big part of who I am today and what I'm doing today. Is that the volunteer experience is something that I discovered during my college years, and I've heard of this organization called AIESEC, and they help young leaders attend and achieve one of the 17 sustainable goals. I've always been fan about education, about educating, about sharing knowledge, about everyone having the right to study and to have a quality education. So there is this goal number 4, which is called quality education. With ISEC, it allows you to go and choose one of these goals and go somewhere in the world and help achieving this goal. And I've been doing that. I've done that 3 times. First time in Indonesia, the second time in Poland, and the third time in Russia. The last one in 2019. And I've been teaching. I think I teach almost 4,000 students.
Wow.
Yeah. And what I mean by teaching that there's a lot of teaching activities. So culture sharing, language sharing, even computer science sharing, career path leading. So for example, in Russia last time, I was just there talking to them about computer science, about what they can do, what they cannot, and all that. In Indonesia, I've been teaching Java because I was also having hands on Java and on oriented object programming. I've been doing that since I was in college, and I've worked with people from maybe 30 or 40 different nationalities. Because the way it works is that everyone applies on certain project, and then we all join that project. So it's just amazing that you meet people from all over the world, and that how you learn a lot of things. You learn about communication, teamwork, how to deal with people with different backgrounds, different religions, different cultures. So it's something very amazing, and it helps you really discover who you are and how to treat people, how to deal with different people, how to communicate, and all of that to achieve one single goal, which is to provide this quality education to people all around the world.
It's so neat that you had that experience. Did you go into the schools or was there a separate facility that people came to?
I think what they do is they have this agreement with certain schools.
Yeah.
So I just go to these schools and they allow us some time to their classes, to different classes, to different ages. And we are there just sharing about our culture. Sometimes we teach basic English, basic French, basic Arabic. So yeah, so we just go to their school and we do whatever we have to do.
It's interesting how sometimes when you teach something, you become more proficient at it, right? Because you have to be able to explain it to someone who's brand new and it gives you a different perspective. I actually had some early teaching experience in my own career. And that's where the desire for entrepreneurship came, even was being able to talk through here's how you build a business. I was able to do that with high school seniors. And it was something that kind of creates a new perspective for yourself. I think the other thing that's interesting about it is we are primarily in a remote career, but this kind of meets the need of being very local and having a physical presence so that you're not just always behind a computer. You're actually talking and helping and nurturing others, which is a really fulfilling thing.
Exactly, exactly. I even been with host families, which was something like very new to me because going to a place that is 20 hours far from your house by plane, and you just go to a certain host family. So you have to force yourself to speak, to communicate, to live with them. So this was really helpful who I am today, how I communicate and how I go to the unknown, let's say, yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. So after the volunteer
Okay.
experience, what was the next step in your career?
The next step in my career was I said I need to start working. I need to generate money, of course, and I need to start my career. So I started doing a lot of things. I was working on freelance, at the same time participating in certain competitions, certain local competitions, so I can have a better network and even to work, let's say, my programming skills and my development skills. So that was after my graduation and after my last volunteer experience.
And tell me more about the competitions. What did that involve?
In 2020 or 2021, they had this competition here in Algeria. It's called Algeria Startup Challenge. And there were like different subject, and you have to provide something to have the economy and to just provide something good, whether it's an application, whether it's just a prototype, whether it's an idea. And we participated in this competition, me and two of my friends, and we created the React Native web application for booking beauticians and barbers and all that. And this is how I get very good knowledge. And I had my hands dirty a lot with programming, to be honest. I worked a lot on creating algorithms. We created a full app on that. And the app was so amazing that we won the first prize, even like amongst 700 other projects. And it was surprising. We were very happy with it because to be honest, we were not really expecting it. But the jury really liked us. They didn't only like our app. The app was so good. They taught us that, but they also liked our presence, our dynamic, and our vision. So it was like a very good competition. Yeah.
How long was the competition? How long did you have to work on the app?
We had about a year working on the app.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very big app. And I've been through a lot of difficult algorithms, let's say. One of them is a booking algorithm, which I was very proud of achieving it because you had to deal with different and a lot of tiny conditions. So after that, I was like, really, I stepped up on my programming skill.
Absolutely. Yeah. It reminds me of hackathon, but it's not over a weekend or a week or short term. It's a year-long project, which is really,
Exactly.
more comparable to it's a business working on a new product. And it sounds like when you have a year and with your skills and your team, that it was more than even just a minimum viable product. It was something that was fully functioning. And what did you do with it after that? Did your team think, hey, we could monetize this? We could have a business with it?
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea. And then things happened in life. I had to choose a different path. My friends had to choose different paths. And now, like, everyone took his own path. And unfortunately, yeah, we didn't finish with it, but it was a very good experience. And we had a very good programming.
That's incredible. Congratulations for winning out of
Yeah.
more than 700 projects. So, Hareth, if you were going to give some advice to another pro that was taking on their first engagement to set them up for success, what advice would you give them?
Okay, I would like first to mention something very important. Is that in the normal and in the casual human interactions, when we are talking with someone and we have certain bond with someone, what do we want? We want to receive sometimes answers like we crave for that. Like when someone, for example, disappeared for 2 days, we would like to have this person there as, hey, I'm busy for the next 2 days, so I will not be answering. We really want that. So that's what the clients want. And that's what this partnership wants. Constant communication. Whether, for example, let's say a job taking longer than usual, gets communicated. That's why it's taking longer than usual. If you see something wrong, just say, yeah, this is wrong and we need to fix it. So don't just take this contract and this bond as just, yeah, I'm here to do my task and goodbye. I don't have to communicate until I finish my task. No, it doesn't work like that. Whatever you do, just communicate it. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes and it will create a very good relationship with your client. So the number one advice I would say is constant communication. If you see that something you are struggling with, just communicate it. If you have done something, say, I've done it. For example, if you are working on certain shifts, like you can just communicate that, hey, I'm working from this time to this time today. They will understand and they will know that you are here if they want to, if they want to ask you questions, if they want to communicate with you or have you on a call. At least they know that you are here. And yet, so that's not only number one, like above number one, it's constant communication. Don't take this as just, yeah, I have tasks to do and that's it. No, it's much, much more than that. Yeah.
That's solid advice. A lot of companies that hire remote contractors, any type of contractor, not just developers, one fear that they have is, are they going to get ghosted? They don't have the transparency sometimes as they would if it was a full-time employee working for the company in person. A lot of people have stories where they've been burned. Maybe they've paid money and the project wasn't delivered, or project was delivered, but the quality wasn't good and they didn't keep them updated throughout and they missed deadlines. I love your focus on soft skills. That's really something that I've taken from all of your experiences. You're interacting with people, and to understand that, to prioritize that, to communicate often and treat someone the way that you would want to be treated. And that's a very important thing as you take not just fractional engagements, but just an important lesson in life when you're working with anyone.
Beside the communication, if I have to give another advice, is that don't work on tasks and you see only on short term. When you achieve a task, even if it takes longer, just be at the end of the road. Look at the long term. With this, is this solution scalable and maintainable in the future? Is it, or am I just doing the task so I can finish my day? So that's very important too. Try to do something like that is maintainable, that is scalable. And even if tomorrow you go and you find another job, you leave your place clean. And if another developer will come and will see everything clean, they will just scale that thing that you made. And instead of just working like on just achieving a task, even if it takes longer.
That's a great point. You might be the only one handling it right now, but what happens when someone comes after you, or we add a team member that you need to collaborate with? Suddenly it's got to get out of your head and into something that can scale to multiple people. What's next for you? Are there certain skills that you're looking to grow into? I know AI is a big story. How have you integrated that? Where are you looking to grow your skill set in the years ahead?
Yeah, actually AI is always number one. At least like everyone should know how to use AI tools, no matter how AI hating you are, because there's a lot, but you have to learn how to use AI, how to work with AI. So that's probably one of my biggest goals, to even at least to know more AI tools that can be integrated in my future project. At the same time, now I still want to focus more on WordPress. There's a lot with WordPress. I want to become more also as WordPress consultant, because I know that a lot of things can be wrong in WordPress website, can be done wrongly. And I know that a lot of small businesses, for example, out there, they use WordPress so they can reduce the cost of having 24 hours and 36, 65 days developer. So it's good to have a good basic and then have developer helping them like with daily tasks. So I've always wanted to be a WordPress and a web consultant. But at the same time, I will be growing my skills with WordPress, with creating like more web apps and more plugins. Yeah.
Is there a particular AI tool that you're using more than others right now?
I only use the development AI tool. So I mostly like use Claude to have when I have troubles with some algorithms and all that. I just optimize it with Claude AI, which I think, in my opinion, is the best one for programming and development. And of course, the other tools like ChatGPT for the daily tasks and for questions and for better orientation.
So, on to some kind of personal questions now. What do you enjoy doing in your free time when you're not working on client work?
I'm a very sporty guy. Actually, I play a lot of football and a lot of tennis, and I go to the gym. So most of the time when I'm not working, I'm working out, doing something, doing some sport. And I also really love traveling. And I take advantage of this remote job to travel and work. From time to time, I just go somewhere for a month or two and I work from there.
Perfect. The flexibility that fractional engagements afford is something that just has tremendous value. I enjoy it personally myself, and we hear that from so many pros, being able to set your own calendar and get the work done, but do it in a way that makes sense for your lifestyle and provides the balance that you need. Fantastic. Well, Hareth, thank you so much for joining us today. I've really enjoyed learning about your diverse experience and career, and we are very appreciative of the great work that you do for Quickly Hire and keeping our collective clients happy. Appreciate the advice that you've given to others and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you for tuning in to Fractional Focus. If you're a skilled professional looking to build your fractional career or a founder seeking top-tier talent without the full-time commitment, visit quicklyhire.com today. Subscribe for more conversations with exceptional professionals who are redefining the future of work.